checked our prayer list. All that I have down is Larry Tucker, but there seems like somebody else was mentioned Sunday, and I can't remember who it was. Anybody else got somebody on the scene? Oh, I sent that. Okay. Ruby Swan last week. And then Genevieve we mentioned last time, and she passed, so I took care of that one. That was it. Thank you, Gina. Linda's at home. Linda's at home. Okay. What did they decide's wrong?
I think that's poisonous infection. 2 days.
Okay.
They control protein that's and then diabetes and this and other. It's just got her all messed up. And she's so weak and run down that this poison set her in her bowels over all this time.
Her protein and all that stuff.
But she's better. She's still but don't nobody
Be around her. Okay. So Linda Morris is home, improved some. Larry, is it this week?
They've not scheduled
They've
yet.
not scheduled anything for Larry yet. Anybody else?
Barry King's father is in the hospital.
Barry King's father's in the hospital. You don't know his name?
Frank King.
And your mom?
Mama's home.
Mama's home.
She'll go. First day. Mama, is Mama doing okay?
Yeah, she's getting there. She's not well, but she's getting there.
Funny is my daddy had his 91st birthday yesterday, and all he wanted, I told him, we'll do whatever you want to do, and all he wanted to do was go eat pizza. So we went to the Pizza Hut, and Lanian and I lost count on number 12. And I'm not lying. He was putting pizza in as fast as I would go. He wanted it 2 at a time. I think I'm ready for my next 2. Here I go. It'll be gone for you. And a salad.
How is he
And he
today?
slept last night. You know. Golly, Dad. He got it well, and he had to eat breakfast. He wanted to go late in the afternoon so he could just eat all he wanted to. Yeah, Dad. Yeah. So, he was cute yesterday. Anybody else or anything else? All right, Teresa, you want to lead us in prayer?
Let's all bow. Thank you, Lord, for this beautiful day and all the many blessings that have came our way. And Lord, we just ask that you be with all of those that have been mentioned that are sick. We pray for the family of Larry Tucker and Larry Tucker, Lord. Just be with him and comfort them at this time, and be with the doctors and nurses as they take care of Larry. And I pray, Lord, that everything goes well with him. We pray that you be with Linda Morris. We love Linda and always have and always will. And we pray, Lord, that you will heal her also. We thank you for Debbie, Lord, that she is able to get up and teach us how to be leaders. And we pray, Lord, that we take this study and that we apply it to ourselves. And the blessings that you give us, Lord, help us to take those and work with them and go forward with them and just do what we're supposed to do. We thank you, Lord, for this church. We thank you for our sisters and brothers in Christ. And we ask that you be with us. And always, we just pray, Lord, that we can let our light shine through you always. And it's in Jesus' name that we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Teresa. Today I was checking with Jerry. I said, okay, what are you doing tonight over there? And he said, song leading. And then he laughed. Okay. And I said, you're teaching it? I said, oh, go for it. I said, well, tonight ours is how to teach. And he says, I'm doing that one the next week. So at least we're close together now on what we're supposed to be doing. So make sure you ask if you got a husband over there, how did the singing class go? I want to know what he did. I want to go over, I made a chart, and when I do things like this, I think of Rachel. I think we both just have to have these little slots, Rachel. I'm sorry, but you know, we're too much alike here. So I went through and wrote down everybody's name at spring quarter, fall, winter, spring, you know. So you can see that not too many people love the nursery for some reason, and Rachel and I are the only volunteers for 6th and 8th grade. So if anybody would like to volunteer, we'll take you. So anyway, I put all these up here so that you'll understand partly how I put people together or how I don't put them together. A lot of our spring was filled out. And I hope, mainly I kept it that way, but I had to change some of you because I have a bunch that want to do fall and winter, and very few that want spring and summer. And some of you, I got about 10 of you that said, just put me where you want me. Well, you did. You got thrown somewhere. So I do have the spring quarter teachers ready. I was hoping to have a whole year, but I didn't. So I will try to work on that some more. Also, it's really hard to pick out literature, especially if you're not at the store picking it out. I don't understand getting it off the internet. I'm sorry. I don't understand it going through this catalog over here that Mary Lou gave me. But it did help more than what I did have. So most of the time we order from 21st century, but the elders have told me if we find something we like that's not 21st century, they're fine with it. So for spring quarter, we're going to keep with this because I have not had the chance to go down to 21st century or anywhere else and go through their materials, okay? Our new materials have come in. I only ordered because the majority of us said we kind of wanted to keep everything together, Sunday morning and Wednesday night. So I only ordered Sunday mornings. And your job is going to be to combine it with the Wednesday. But the lower grades are easy because they put it in there. It's got an extra hour on each lesson for the Wednesday night class. So that one's already done. I went ahead and ordered some of the extra things because of how to teach. We've got, I don't remember which one. Oh, this is Scout. And this one's, oh, I don't even remember what his name was. But anyway, they're in the lessons. They're the puppets that go with the lessons. I just thought they were adorable, so we had to have them. There are a few things that I did not order that I want you to decide whether you want them or not. So next week, we're going to be in the groups of who's teaching, and you're going to have to go through your own material, tell me what you want, if you need anything else, and all that stuff so we can get it ordered for you. Does that make sense? Brian? Okay. Tonight, though, we're going to go over how to teach. Please do not think that means I know how to do it. Because some of you in here are a lot better at it than I am. But I've had several people that have said, I just want to help because I'm very uncomfortable teaching. I'm not sure I'm doing it right. Well, I'll guarantee you're not going to do it wrong. Unless you're teaching some doctrine that I don't know about. So there's no wrong way to teach a class. Just don't be afraid of them. None of them are going to hurt you. Now, you may hurt them, but they're not going to hurt you. And it's just an adjustment of how to deal with them. I'm going to start out with what we call really the toddlers right here and the nursery. I kind of lump them together. Now, one thing about the nursery, those of you who volunteered for the nursery, you know, we have the little round table and we stick the kids down in them. And from past experiences, from past experience, I had a fat child. And so Sam was constantly having his legs caught in those chairs. And they eventually had to bring a chair in for my son, you know, Mr. Long Legs and Fat Legs, you know, to move. So remember, their little legs are dangling the whole time. So don't make them sit in those things the whole time. Every time I walk in there and them little legs are going like this, I'm thinking, oh, bless your little hearts. Of course, they probably don't care, but it would drive me crazy. So, you know, there's little things like that. In the toddlers in the nursery, have some activities, floor activities. Get them out. Lay them on the floor. You know, let's clean it up, but let's get them on the floor. Have some things that they can do. Also with the little ones, let me see if I can find my notes I had here. You need a variety of stimulation. You know, with the toddlers, it may be a picture. With the nursery, it may be the object. Now, here's where sometimes we do have to get, because where's an object going to go? In the mouth. So, Clorox or bleach or something is going to have to be cleaned up on those varmints every time you use them. I remember we used to have the, what was it, the little lambs. Y'all remember the little lamb? They chew that thing to death. The telephones, you know, you called, and before long they had the receiver in their mouth. So all those things we've got to be very careful, but they're very good. Remember in patting the Bible. Is that not the most precious thing you ever taught in nursery class? Where's your Bible? Pat your Bible. And they will just pat. So, you know, sometimes I'll say, you just have to go in there and hold them. I'm lying. You know, there's more to it than holding them, unless it's just a baby. But they can learn a lot in the nursery class. Finger action activities, you know, like the itsy witsy, whatever it is, the spider. See, I forgot all those things. There's some, you know, about building the church building, you know, doing all this stuff. So those are things, and we have some booklets over in the, not in the workroom, but that other junk room we've got right now, which Don Roberts fixed my shelves today, bless his little heart, so everything's hanging back up. He told me if I tore it down again, that was it. No. So there's books over there that if you have time, go through them. They've got activities, all this kind of stuff. Also, I went in Mary Rittenberry's classroom today and stole one of her folders. She didn't know it, now she does. She has made a folder for every quarter and a lesson for the whole quarter. Now, nursery, some of this, I went through it, and I think it could be used for you all too. This is one that she had, I think this was maybe fall quarter, winter quarter, right here that I've got in my hand. And she's made examples, if any of you ever are teaching the nursery or the toddlers. It's all in a filing cabinet. She's already got it ready for you. All she asks, if you use it, put it back where you got it. Okay? She's got the lesson typed out for you. She's got their little sheet, first day of creation, and she's got a craft for them to do. Okay? Now, that sounds simple, but for a toddler, that takes a whole class. You know, by the time you tell the story, you know, dotty. I was looking at this and I thought, well, toddlers point to the light, point to dark. You know, that's what God made. I mean, they can just do the pointing. Some of them can't, but you can take their little hand and go over it with them. So a lot of these activities I thought could work there as well, and I know Mary doesn't care as long as she knows where it's going. She doesn't care a bit. So any questions on toddlers or nursery? Okay, now our toddlers usually stay in there till they're 3. Then we move them out. Either the whole world divides things wrong or we do, and I have a feeling it's probably us. But this chart is not divided the way we divide it. It's divided 3 and 4 year olds and pre-kindergarten, is 4 and 5. They leave their 3s over here in the toddlers a lot of times. And so eventually when we change our third grade, teachers, we need to be thinking, do we want to put first, second, third together, or do we put third, fourth, and fifth together? Now, if you have a third grader, you know which one they should be in more than I do, okay? I think I have my opinion, but that's not always the right way to do it. So we need to think about where we really want to divide them when it comes to summertime. But the preschool, we're going to consider that as 5-year-olds kindergarten, and that's all. That's what we're going to call preschool. Now, there's papers on chairs. If you're around some, pick them up. This is where I'm going to go through and give some examples of what you might, come on girls, pick them up, what you might look for when you're teaching. All right, in all the lesson books, you're going to see a divider here that tells you what you're going to need for the lessons. All right, now, do you use all of those? You teachers, you use all that stuff?
We don't have time.
You don't have time. You pick and choose what you're comfortable with, and you throw out the rest, or you don't like any of it, and you find your own thing. And I do that a lot. Okay? A lot of times I don't like any, I mean, like 2 Sundays ago, believe it or not, my lesson was on leadership in 6 through 8. And I'm looking at that like, huh, they don't, I mean, maybe they do. Maybe I'm just a weenie. But it goes over all the eldership, all the deacons, over and over. And I'm thinking, well, they got this on Wednesday night already. So I just made up a new lesson with how to grow up to be those things, the qualifications to have as a child. So you may need to change some things. One of the things, especially for this group, have something prepared for them when they walk in that door. If not, you'll have 2 or 3 on the floor rolling around. Or they don't want to come in. At this age, we still have some that are scared to come in the classroom. And so you're going to have some crying. You know how to deal with that. You know, you find something for them to do. You tell the mom or dad to run. Whatever it takes. I've had a parent before shut the door behind her and ran. You know. So there are things that are going to happen at this age. One day, one Sunday or some Wednesday night, they're going to be happy. They're going to walk right in there. They're going to sit right down there, and they're going to get it in the next one. They don't want to be there. That's the age. It's not anything against you as teachers. So don't take it personally. When I look through this lesson, I would always start with the little ones. Now this, again, is Debbie Holland. I would start with the Bible lesson. Mainly because 5 minutes later, they're not going to be listening to anything you say. So I want to jump right into the story as fast as I can, so maybe they'll catch something that I'm talking about. Then do an activity, then go back to the story. That's just, in this one, I thought they started out with a real cute little thing about adding it into the lesson about they were going to Bethlehem to be counted. This is on the birth of Jesus, and the teacher has them count. What 3 and 4-year-old doesn't want to count? They'll count till the cows come home, okay? You know, they'll want to keep going over it. So a cute little activity to do between the story. Not anything major. There's art activities, things that they can do, Bible review. But like I said, pick out things that you know fit your group. Because some of these will say, divide groups of 5. You may only have 5 in your room. You can't very well divide them up. So use some common sense. I think it's very important that we always go over a Bible verse, whether they can say it or not. They can repeat you know, like this Bible verse is, I don't even see it, but anyway, there's one in here. At the top. Jesus was born in Bethlehem. Okay. Just have the kids repeat after you. Jesus was born. Jesus was born. You know, type thing. See, I know all this is, you all know this stuff. Then, one thing I did want to point out in this one, on page 17, it says lesson 2 extra hour. Now, I think this would be great for the Wednesday night class right here. Wouldn't have to look up much of anything else. This is in the 5-year-old kindergarten, and I believe it's also in the 1st and 2nd grade. But is it? Okay. In the 1st and 2nd grade. So right there, when you all start working in your groups, it'll be easier for you. Tell the same story. It's not going to make any difference to those kids how many times they've heard it. We have 2 teachers' books. Yes, ma'am. So that'll help you with that. Let's see if there was anything else on there. Okay, any questions about the little ones? Okay. The early elementary is what we consider our 1st and 2nd grade. Now, the way our schools are divided up, 2nd and 3rd are together. So that's the only problem I have with our division, but I don't know that it makes that much difference. What do y'all think? Would you want the 3rd graders with the 1st and 2nd, or would you move them on up? Okay, 4th and 5th? Okay. That way they learn more.
Second and third need to be together, and fourth and fifth
Fifth.
need to be together, in my opinion.
Okay, so put 1st grade with the kindergartners?
Because they can't read very well yet.
Okay.
And second and third can.
Just drop the 5-year-olds down.
Okay, so put the 5-year-olds with preschool.
Because most of them are not reading or doing anything yet. They're
Right.
not in school at all.
Okay. So we're talking about putting 3, 4, and 5 together as the preschool.
No, second and third.
No, I mean
Preschool, 3, 4,
year-olds,
5-year-olds.
3 and 4-year-olds, and 5. And then putting kindergarten and 1st together.
Why do the 3-year-olds don't stay in the toddler class? Why do they not stay?
Well, because lots of times, I don't know, why aren't they? Because lots of times, I don't know.
toddler class until graduation.
It's do what now?
They stay in the toddler class until graduation.
Okay,
So if they turn 3 in January, they're gonna stay there until everybody moves up.
moves up. Okay, so what they're saying is though, why can't they stay till they turn 4? How much a mess would that be for the little ones?
Between 2 and 4s,
Yeah,
because they're moving some of the 18-year-olds in.
okay. I knew we were moving them in earlier.
Yeah.
The potty training, that would be a problem too. Okay, so where was I writing that down? Okay. So K and 1st, 2nd and 3rd, 4th and 5th, and then 6th through 8th. Is that what we're thinking? I mean, we're just rattling. I'm not writing this down in gold or anything. Okay. So that may make a better division, and that may be what they have up here. No, they've got 1st and 2nd together, 3rd and 4th, 5th and 6th. Then that's the way it's divided at school, right? No, 4th grade's at LES, isn't it? That's right. In the elementary, early elementary, I think it's very important in teaching at school, we called it have a hook. Something that catches, you know, you throw out something really exciting so that you get them thinking. It could even be, this could be your walk-in activity. When I taught school, I would have something on the board, and blackboard back in my day, the blackboard that they were to go to their seat and start trying to figure out. You know, it could have been a riddle. It could have been a long math problem. You know, anything. But here it could be something like, I think there was a cute little hook in this one, but now I don't remember what it was. It could have been something with the Bible verse. Would be cute. You know, fill in the blanks, see if you could fill it in. but something that they can come and start with, so that while the rest of them are coming in, they're halfway calm. If you're in our educational building before church starts, you know what I'm talking about. We got some running every which direction, yelling and screaming and throwing stuff. And it's usually not the little ones. It's my class. No, not really anymore. You know, because we have divided them. No, yes, since Macy's in there, it hasn't happened. We've divided up some of that. But as your teachers, you get in those, you need to be in that classroom. And I like to say, be in there 30 minutes before it starts. And everybody goes, you know, I'm here at Sunday morning at 8:15, y'all. And I've got the 6 through 8. I don't know what I think they're going to do, but I'm here. But I don't have little ones to try to get ready and get here either. So it does make a difference. But with the older kids, you need to get here and be on your toes at all times. This is another group. After you do the hook, it's good to go into the story after you go through everything. They're going to want to have talk time. You know, especially in the older grades, they want to tell you what happened at the ball game on Friday night or Saturday night, or somebody broke up with somebody, or, you know, and they need that time. I really believe they do. And so don't belittle anything they're talking about. You just be concerned. And act like you want to know, because I usually do. Nosy Mosey here. Has to know what's going on. Also, with all of these things, there are materials that come with the activities. In the middle grade, this is the one that's labeled Esther Saves Her People. Starting in this grade, the kids kind of need to know who people are in this congregation. You will be amazed by the time I get them, they don't know who the elders are. They couldn't point one out. And when I had where Teresa's at now, I would have the elders come in. Here they are. You got anything you want to ask them? Usually y'all didn't ask them anything, but anyway, this is who they are. Every once in a while, we might have a deacon come in and talk about what their role was in the church or in the church. I even think it might be interesting to have anybody come in and just give a little, we don't like to use the word testify or testimonial, but hey, it's in the Bible and it's a good thing. So, you know, sometimes you may have somebody come in and talk to the kids other than you coming in. Please don't forget to sing. I do. I never sing in my classroom. I don't know why I never did, just didn't. I guess I felt like I was a little off, but if you're in Teresa Mintz's room, you can hear through the vent, and we always had one class that was always singing, I believe it was Sonia's, and we could hear her singing through the vent. But that was great. I'm sitting there not doing anything. So sing with them. They love to sing. They love to sing the new songs that I don't know. So go with it. If it's Jesus Loves Me 15 times, you sing it 15 times.
Are you saying the Southern Book Club?
Well, no, I never did sing with them. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
But I probably should have. Yeah, I probably should have. By the time they get in these grades too, emphasizing the Bible verse. I never made mine memorize the Bible verse, but I should have. I can remember that was when I was growing up. You had a memory verse every Sunday morning, and you stood up and said it.
Mia always has a
Memory verse. And we should. I don't know why we don't.
She always wants
Yeah.
to say a memory verse.
And, you know, put a star up if they say it. You know, you can set up stations in your classroom. And I know I'm talking like educational goofball here. But, you know, if they do you may have a section that's just, this could be when they first come in. Assigned, you know, here's a puzzle sheet or a hidden word. If you complete it, you get to put a star up. Next week, you'll get to go to the next one. and where they rotate. You wouldn't have to have the 4 out, that would last you all month. Because not all the kids would go to the same one. And if you want to know about that, you can ask me, but I used to do that, but that's because that's inbred in me, I guess.
Dan,
Yes, ma'am.
you were talking about singing, and this was just something that was brought to my attention. I don't think we're emphasizing enough that when the kids and adults as well, that's part of the praising of God. And Jerry's the one that says he doesn't understand why some people don't sing, because that's part of our worship.
Right.
And if we start with the
Young ones.
little fellas, that's just going to be a part
And
of
there's
it all
nothing
the way
more
up.
precious to have one sitting behind you and you hear them sing, and Bree's one example. I can hear Bree when she sings, and I love it. I just think, oh, it sounds so cute. And they need to be doing that. And that's one of my failures. I never sang with mine in my own classroom. I guess I just wasn't comfortable because I didn't think I know their songs. And I don't sing the way they do. They all know This Little Light of Mine is not like y'all's This Little Light of Mine. Remember, I grew up in a black congregation, and I got a little swing with mine. So, and I can't get that swing out of me. So, these are things that we do. That I guess I could teach them to swing. I don't know.
We can do it.
We can do swing sometimes. Yes, ma'am. Dorothy?
I can remember as my 3 boys, we had to sing them at home
Yeah.
when they were young. They didn't particularly like it,
Uh-huh.
but now they just want to sing.
Sing. And getting in a car, how many of you used to sing going everywhere you went with your parents? We have a quartet at my home, That's all you could do. Yeah, that was the only thing that kept you from fighting in the back seat. Do what? And learn to sing. Teaching parts to each other. Oh, yeah. Little bitty. And they go and visit people and do that. So, singing is important. Whether you can sing well or not is not the point. The point is that is part of the worship service. Dorothy?
Another thing I know that we were
Yeah.
and know that our congregation and sing
Yeah.
different other denominations.
We'll be there every time. Every time. And, I know we can't do it all, but there are some things that could be easily done if we just get with it and do it. And starting with the young ones is a good place to start. And that's just as much my fault as anybody else's. Did I ever take my class up there? No. Teresa has. Leslie has. Debbie Hall never did. So that would be something good. Take your little ones up there. I mean, if you have to hold them, oh, good gracious, my mom and dad would just think that was heaven to see children. They love them. They just, of course, the little ones may get a little scared, but usually they're not bad. Ashley's had all 3 of hers up there in mom and dad's room with Maddie jumping on the bed and Carter doing cartwheels, and my mom and dad think that's the cutest thing. Are those the cutest kids you've ever seen? Dad can't even see, but he thinks they're the cutest ones he's ever seen. Just the visit of that is just a wonderful thing for people to have. And we start teaching them when they're young. If you don't want to teach, just walk around and sing. Maybe everybody will pick it up. The 6th through 8th grade. Please don't be scared of this age group. They are not bad. I have had to teach on Sunday morning and Wednesday nights because nobody wants them. And that's sad because they're so sweet. Macy's one of my babies. Now, who cannot want Macy? I mean, get with it. They're not as apt to ask as many questions as you think they would. And it could be because the teacher doesn't hush long enough for them to ask much. But we get into very good good discussions. We try to keep it basically about what's going on in their life. We talk about how things happen at school, and of course I can say I've seen how you treat other people at school because I've seen them in action, and so they're like, oh yeah. They're very honest with you. We did a thing Sunday morning that tickled me. I said, now I don't want you to put down what you think I want you to put. And they didn't. You know, and they would even say, I hate to tell you this, but I don't do that. You know. So, and it's a good place for them to start. They're growing up and they need us. And they need that honesty. Please, if you want to teach that grade, be honest with them. You tell them, I tell them stories of how I acted when I was in school. Things I'm not proud of. I've told them I prayed for one kid to be taken out of my classroom. The Lord answered it and he's gone. You know, that was not the thing for me to have done, but I did. Where'd he go? He moved the carpet. I told the Lord it's either me or him, Lord. You know, we all have those things that we've done and we've not reacted the way we should have. And they need to know that. I never was perfect, never will be perfect, and you know, that's just the way it is. So the main thing, and the main thing, let them know you care about them. If you act like you love them, they will break their neck to do whatever it is you want them to do. Now, that takes consistency. They're not going to walk right into your room and know that. That's why I kind of like people to keep 2 quarters together and 2 quarters together, because by the second quarter, you're in love with them and they're in love with you, basically. Is in love with me, right? So those are some of the things that we need to work on. Just being genuine. Don't feel like you have to do, you know, with teaching school, when they'd hand me a textbook, I thought I was supposed to teach that from the front to the back. Took me about 4 years to figure out that's impossible. You don't. You just pick out the highlights and go with it. Questions on how to teach. Is there something that bothers you about teaching that you want to ask about? Because I've had, not just you all, but I've had people over there say, well, how do you do this and how do you do that? One of the hardest things that I still have not mastered is when you have discipline problems. There has been some discipline problems. There have been some times, and that's one reason I quit teaching one of the classrooms. I was having a little conflict with one, and I thought, I can't do this. I have to take a break. That break has helped, even though I moved up the grade. You know, there's just a couple that just really, and so sometimes you have to step out of the thing. The best thing for us to do is go get the parent. Now, I hate that. Never wanted to go get a principal. So, you know, I really have a hard time. But now I use that as a threat sometimes. And sometimes you figure out whether it's mom you can threaten them with, or if it's dad you can threaten them with. Some kids react to, I'm going to get your dad. Some it's mom. You know, with me, it would have been daddy. If I had to go get I would just rather die. Mama, she just talked about it. You know. So, try to learn your kids. I think one thing we failed, maybe we need to have meetings with parents. Tell them what we expect of their kids. We are coming to church to study and to worship. You know, we have some kids that will spout off about, well, go ahead, Ashley. This is time. Huh? Oh, it's time for me to quit already? Chloe. Okay. I got to give a homework assignment. Okay. Not to everybody. Not everybody has to do homework. Over here, I have somewhere, I have lost the teacher's list for this next quarter. Oh, I think I found it. Now, next Wednesday night, these people, I hope, I will give everybody a call to remind you, but we're going to go ahead and give you your teacher's manual for whatever class you're teaching. And I want you to go through and see if you can distinguish between a Sunday morning lesson and a Wednesday night lesson. Now that will be easy, like I said, for the younger ones because it's basically in there. I also did not order all these little booklets because I don't know if you use them or not. If you don't use them, let's go spend our money on them. We'll find something else. So I would like for you, maybe the Sunday morning teacher, if you don't mind taking these home with you, go through them, see if they're worth, every kid gets one. You know, like this would be the first Sundays, right there. It's a little booklet. Sometimes I use them in class, sometimes I do not. So that's going to be strictly up to you all. So, now I don't remember which one I got where. Hush over there, I heard somebody laughing at me. I usually am organized. What?
It doesn't come to the rural class.
No, not with this group. You all get these. Okay? You don't get these. This comes with the early elementary. Okay? So, but no, I only ordered Immerse. That is our Sunday morning program. That's what we've been using all these years for Sunday morning. I did not get the other one.
I didn't get mine.
So, my preschoolers, my 3 and 4-year-old teachers are Leslie and Anita on Sunday morning, and Anita's not here. Where's Leslie? Leslie, I'll keep yours over here, baby. I think you get the squirrel, Leslie. The 5 and 6-year-olds, which we call 5 in kindergarten. You ready, Brandy Nichols? She loves me. She's one of mine that's nervous, but she's going to do such a good job.
It ain't nerves.
Yeah. She doesn't like teaching, but she's willing to try. Okay. My first and second, Sonia. First and second. Sonia and Alicia King. She's not here. Then third grade is Rachel, Cersei, and Joyce. And Jennifer Harden's not here, and she's not here. Debbie's here. Okay. So I'll have to get some of these out to people. So Sonia, what grade first? And who did I say? Jennifer. She's not here tonight? Rachel. Sorry, Rachel. Pass that back. That's Rachel. So I just want you all to kind of go through. I also went ahead, some of the teachers said they missed their packets. So we did order the packets this time. It's got the CD in it that everybody seemed to like that I didn't think they did, so we didn't get them. So that's my fault. But there's a list of everything in the packets, folders and all kinds of things in here that you can put in your classroom. So any questions on this part? All right, I think it's past time because I had to talk to you all.